So in this video, I'm going to build out a cold email campaign live for one of our actual clients that's going live soon. So let's get into it. So just to start, let's talk a little bit about holistically what is going to be happening here. So we want to send out emails. All right. How do we do this? So you're going to need to buy some domains. Those domains, you attach email accounts. Right. And I'm going to show you how we do this. And then those email accounts, they get attached to a sequencer, sending tool, something like this, whatever you want to call it. That will warm the email accounts. This is going to be where you add the leads that you want to send. And this is where you want to write and add the copy. Right. And you want to do like sending settings. Right. So then it's going to send out these emails and it's going to get responses. And then this is where you move into lead nurture and your sales process. So some other things on here is you're going to need to let's just say scrape leads. And I'll do this in this video as well. Enrich leads. And then you're going to need to. All right. So this is typical. Now, something that we do, so at this point, is we have a personalized video for each prospect. So for some of our campaigns, and this will be done today as well, hopefully, I'll add. So that's just like once we verify the leads, we then run them through a software that does that, and then it adds the leads, right? So this is kind of what it looks like at a high level. So let's just start on the left, domains. So we use Hypertide to do everything. Why? Because it's simpler with the scale that we're operating at to use something like Hypertide. You can, essentially what I'm going to be showing you here, you can do it in through a reseller. So you could do, I'll let this load first and then I'll show you. But you could use something like Zapmail, or you could use something like InboxKit to essentially do the same thing. Okay, so this is us, and I'm going to be talking about First Look Agency. Okay, so essentially what we've done is we've placed 3 orders here, and this order is going to have, you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 domains here, and these are a Google inbox, and then these are 2 Outlook infrastructure inboxes, right? Hypertide Azure. And so we've got 3 campaigns here. So again, if you wanted to do that, you just click a place order. So the team's already gone and done this. We do this as soon as the client's closed. And so essentially we did 2 of these. We did 2 of these, and we did 1 of these. Is how we set this up for this particular client. Right? So once that's been done, and we do this immediately because it's going to take 2 weeks of warming. So you'd come in here, you create an account. Just so you know, they've got a $1,500 setup fee, or they did when we came on board. So if you want to go somewhere cheaper, you could do something like Zapmail, or InboxKit, or you could do scaled mail. I'm just going to put some stuff here. Oh, that's not what I was looking at. Mail scale also works. So there's heaps of options out there. We use Hypertide. Don't obsess over who you use. It's just something that can be done easily. Okay, so we've gone in here and we've essentially got these set up. You just will follow everything they tell you. Essentially, they're going to set up all the DKIM records. They're going to have everything set up, and they're even going to add them to your Smart Leader or Instantly account. So we use Smart Lead. So then they add them here into email accounts. So there are all these ones. First Look Agency. See, they've enabled the warm up, the daily limits correct. Essentially, they've added all the settings to each of the mailboxes that they've put in here, and so that is all sorted. Okay, so if you look here, domains, email accounts, they're added, and then they add them to the sequencer tool, and we're gonna warm the accounts. So if I go back to email campaigns, I would recommend using the folders option. So we have a folder for each client that we're working with. This is the one that I'm building out today. If we look at First Look Agency, just to give you some context, look. So they are a wedding venue agency. So they help wedding venues get fully booked, essentially. We've worked with them in the past. They're a good team. Again, if you've got a wedding venue, look at these guys. Okay, cool. So we then split them into one campaign per order. So you see how this is like a Google order. So there should be one of these. Oh, one of these needs to get named Google, unless we haven't attached them yet, which is fine. What's in the accounts? Cool. So this one's not the Google one. Haven't quite figured out why the numbers are never quite perfect, but maybe there's a smiling thing. Maybe there's an us thing. We haven't really noticed any issues. So yeah, 15 sender accounts. Cool. So this is the Google one. So I'm just gonna rename. Cool. So we've got our folder. All right. We've got our First Look Agency folder, and each of these is one order, right? So that keeps things very simple. And we do it this way because it's easy to tell, like, if an order becomes burnt, and then you can just delete it and swap it out for a new order. It keeps everything super clean. Okay, so that's how everything is done in there. And then warming's turned on. And so what you can do as well is you can go to like your email accounts. I'm just gonna pull up one of these, so that'll tell us warm up. It'll say like, it's good to use for outbound. You know, this is when it started. This one's good to use for outbound. What we do, just after doing this for quite a while, is just put on like warming until this date. Why? Because then if you go to all campaigns, and maybe this is more of an agency thing, then if you're not an agency, but you can see which campaigns you've got warming, and that one should be live, but anyway, and you can see when the warming date is, right? So a lot of these are going live on the 7th, which is like in 8 days from now, but it's just easier to see if you're just putting it on the name of the campaign when it's warming, and then when it goes live, so we just delete that part of the name. So little naming convention that may help you guys out. Now I am going to talk about, so we've got this, I'm going to talk about scraping the leads. So I've got a full tutorial on scraping the leads, but I am just going to talk through it again here. When we scrape the leads, something like this, First Look Agency, wedding venues, they're probably going to be through a Google Maps scrape. So we've got some advantage here in that we've scraped plenty of wedding venues in the past. So if I go to our like super base account, we will have saved wedding venues. So that means that we can just use them again, which is fantastic, because that obviously saves a bit of money. If I just go into here, yeah, so we've got 16,000 wedding venues in here already. So we're lucky that we can just literally download and use this list. But there's plenty more than 16,000 wedding venues in the US. So what we can do is we are using like the Appify Google Maps extractor. Right, we're using this. We used to use Phantom Buster, which works well. It's just a bit too expensive. You can use any Google Maps extractor. In this case, we're using the Appify one, and we have it built out on our Airtable. So if I go to interfaces and I go to launch, right, if I want to do a new one, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go First Look Agency, 30th October. Scraping type, I'm just going to do a single location. Search terms, wedding venue. And for the location, we could just go, okay, great. So this is just like, I'm doing it for an example here. It's going to go and do this scrape. It's just going to do wedding venue. It's just literally pulling through the Appify Google Maps scraper. There's heaps of scrapers out there where you can just use it in here. The main reason why we're doing something like this is because for some of these, we've just split the US up into 4 areas. And so we can just do area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4, and then we've scraped the whole of the US. And we also have it that we can just click, drop down, scrape all of the US at once. Scraping all of the US once is just expensive if for whatever reason you don't need the leads or something's happening. And you can run into issues with that. So I'm going to pause this until this is scraped, and I'll let you know how long that takes. So that literally just took 2 minutes. So it's probably going to be quite a small file. But again, I'm doing this to show. So I would often just, like I said, here's a whole lot of wedding venues. Cool, we got them. We've got 114. Let's have a look. Website. Cool. Most of them don't have emails. You can see there's some double ups in here. So we've set it that like if there's multiple emails on a website, then we'll pull, but we'll max out at 4. So like some of these will have like 4, some of them will have 2, because there's 2 essentially emails that we can pull through the scrape. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to save that, and then I'm going to use Clay to enrich this data. All right. So we're essentially going to use our Clay table to find as many valid email addresses as we can and first names. I have a link to this Clay table down below this video. So if you want to just copy it, then there you go. And then again, this is set up to not use actually any Clay credits. You still have to have like the Clay plan, so we still pay a couple $100 a month. But then I'm using our own API keys. So I'm going to add that CSV. So we want the company name to be input company name, website to be input company domain, email to be input email 3. I don't know why it's email 3. And category name we don't need, and location. On the location. Add the table, save and run. Cool. So now we've got great. So it's going to find a description. Oops, let's just stop. I forgot I need to update this. Look at, does this company. Luckily it's not a big list, eh? Does this company host weddings? Save. Hang on. Cool. So this is going to give a company description. Hotels or revised events such as weddings. Cool. So again, most of them should be yeses. All right. And now we're going to go through and try and find their emails. I will just pause this while it goes through. We'll see how many verified master emails we get. Cool. Now we've got this list of verified master emails. And we can export, download CSV. Yep. You want to open it up. And you would want to sort, filter. And we just want to delete all of those that don't have a verified master. Cool. So essentially we have like 64. Delete these. And then you would want to delete all of these because we don't need them. Great. So we've got 57 verified emails. Fantastic. This has been verified through Lead Magic, and we've been having a few issues with them. So I would also recommend just running them through another verifier if you want to, just to be super safe. But we've got 57 verified emails and first names here, and their locations. Okay, cool. So now if I just jump back into here, we've scraped the leads, we've enriched the leads, we've verified the leads. We then do a personalized video. We haven't got the video yet from the client here, but what I will show you is how that works. So you would log in here. We use Pitchland to do this. And then you're going to create a campaign. You are going to, what we do is we just get the client, or if we're doing it, we just do it. We just use Loom and we would record with camera only mode. And you'd make like a 90-second video. I I've got a full video going through the exact script we use that we send to the client. So there should be a link somewhere up here. We get them to record the video, we put it in here, and then we just upload the CSV file. And what it's going to do is it's going to overlay the video that they've made in the corner. Let's just see if I can find an example video here. It's going to just get overlaid over the domains in the CSV file. Oh, what a fantastic website. It's going to get overlaid by the, of each of the domains in the CSV file. And then what it's going to do is it's going to just leave that as like a variable when you export the CSV, so that you can, if you upload it to SmartLead, you've got a little variable in there, which is where you have the video. And I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm not going to do that just yet because the client hasn't shot the video. So I'm going to skip this step for now. We've got the leads. We just need to do this. I'm going to write and add the copy, talk about sending settings. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now. So I saved some time by going and writing this copy already. I'm just going to talk you through the copy that we're writing. So we had our onboarding call. We've worked with them before, but we're going to do a Loom video test, which is essentially saying, hey, do you mind if I send over a quick Loom video? We're going to do a computer analysis, which we see is working really well in lots of industries at the moment. Maybe it will work for wedding venues, maybe it won't. Outcome angle, they said they don't think we need a crazy offer at the moment because I think wedding venues are struggling. I think maybe post-COVID there was a big boom, and then everyone kind of got married then, and then maybe they made lots of money and hired lots of staff and got lots of expenses, and then there's now been less weddings, or maybe there's other reasons, maybe just financial, economic things, meaning that less people are getting married. So they're relatively hungry. And then they want to do like a live Q&A webinar each week where they just do like give out free advice essentially, and they want to try and attract people to that. Ourselves and the client are a bit skeptical if cold email is going to work for that, but I'm open to test it because I'm pretty confident that I can get this other stuff to work. So this is the draft copy that I've sent to the client for approval. Hey, first name, we've generated 10 wedding bookings in the last 2 weeks for Hawani's fantastic wedding venue. Can I send over a quick 2-minute Loom video explaining how? Okay, very simple, and it will work. Why do I know it'll work? Because I've done enough of this to know that it'll work. Hey, first name, we have a system that can fully book wedding venues even before they open. Can I send over a quick 2-minute video explaining how? It'll also work. All right. Pretty low ask. Using the word system makes it seem mysterious and interesting, so it'll probably work. Hey, first name, we have a system that generates a ton of wedding venues, a ton of wedding bookings, averaging 6 additional per month, but it depends on the venue. Can I send over a quick 2-minute video explaining how? So what we'll do is again, these haven't been improved, but I'll just do it for an example, is these would be 3 variations. So you'd come in here. We'll test probably all of them. I'm just going to put it like this. And it's going to be, so you'd come in here, you do it like this. Right. And then just so you know, when we write copy, this is how we do our first line. It's just a nice spin text first line. So it's going to go, hey, first name, hello, first name, happy Monday, first name, good morning, first name, howdy, first name. Just add slightly more variation to these emails. We're obviously sending out different variants as well, so that helps. Okay. We stole this from Nick Abraham, but we have like a big wall of quotes that gets spin text through. So essentially what this means, so this is coming from TJ from First Look Agency. I might even call it First Look because having the word agency sometimes is a bit of a red flag. So this is going to spin text. So the first person is going to get, the first person will get this quote. The second person will get this quote. The third person is going to get this quote. It's just going to look like it's part of the email signature, but it means that everyone gets a different email signature. And that just Google and Microsoft aren't distinguishing in this case between the email copy and the email signature. So it just looks like they're different email copies. Bit of a hack, but it works well. Computer analysis. Hey, hello, happy Monday. Would you like a complimentary review showing how many new jobs other flooring companies in your area get in and where they're coming from? So how many jobs this will be wedding venues. how many bookings, where they're coming from. That's what it would be. Would you like a complimentary review showing how many bookings are the wedding venues in the area and where they're coming from? Let me know if you're open to take a look. We grow wedding venues by drastically increasing the amount of bookings they have. We're running the system across case study and averaging this. Let me know if you're open to a quick chat. So just like outcome angle. And then this is my first test at a live Q&A. And I don't think this will work, but I'm always open to testing new ideas, especially when we're testing them along some ideas that I know work. We generate around 130 weddings per month across 14 venues and run a free call each week where venues can ask questions about generating more events. Would you be interested in me sending over a meeting link? Right. So that's the copy that I would test. These are all going to have a follow-up email. I'm just going to click save here. They're all going to have a follow-up email, which has the video in it. And just to show you what that looks like as an example, it would look something like this. It's going to say, hey, first name. I just thought I would chase this one up. I made you a quick video saying hello, and then it's going to embed that thumbnail of that video here. All right, related to that lead. Look forward to hearing from you. Okay, and again, I'm just going to put this in here. We typically just do a two-step. I'm testing longer sequences, and they seem to be going relatively well. So we've done just like two-step sequences for most of our clients for quite a long time. But funny story, actually, I had like a consulting call where they were paying me for consulting, but then I saw their campaigns and they were doing like a long sequence, and like I was pretty impressed with the results of their long sequence. They weren't as impressed with their results, but I was impressed with their results. So I'm testing it now. So you can learn all the time from anyone. Okay, cool. That is kind of how we do the copy. Then just for the setup, you come in here. So this is a bit of a hack, but for some reason, Smart Lead at least never seems to hit the amount of leads that we can. So this cluster, this campaign can deal with 200 leads emails sent a day. And so we typically set it at 100 net new leads. It's a two-step sequence. Theoretically, it should send around 200, but it always ends up sending around like 140 or 150 or 160. So I've just said contact 150 net new leads a day, and now it's pretty much around 200 every day. So we haven't had any deliverability problems. So we've just bumped it up. We also send 7 days a week. Would always recommend sending 7 days a week. Business owners or people in decision-making positions will check the emails on Christmas Day. So don't be afraid of that. You can set a start date. Someone in our team will put it live because we just want to final check everything before it goes live. We don't track links, don't track link clicks. If you were doing this campaign and you're not sending a video, you would put this on. You would want to send in plain text, ideally. All these are pretty basic. With like something like Hypertide, you want to enable domain level rate limiting. Less of an issue for like a wedding venue, but let's say you're emailing, let's say, I don't know, Netflix is on your list, and in your list that you've scraped, there's like 100 employees from Netflix. You don't want your one domain to hit all 100 employees from Netflix at the same time. It's going to be seen as some sort of threat, and it can cause issues. All right. So those are the sending settings that we use. Yeah. And then essentially once it goes live, we're going to turn them on. It's going to send out emails. And then those emails are just going to start coming back into this box. And just, it's probably good social proof. Yes, I would be interested. Hi, Toronto. Thanks for reaching out. I appreciate the kind words. Yes, we take pride in our members. We love what we do. So what's the next step? I'm definitely interested. Hi, Melanie. Not ready for blah, 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 but can be soon. Can you send me more details on those two? So it works. We generate leads through the system. You can copy the system. If you want us to build out the system for you, because you're a B2B company and you want to reach out to other companies to drum up business, there should be a link below this video where you can jump in a call with somebody in our team. If you want to keep figuring out this for yourself, that is fantastic. There should be a 90-minute video on screen now that you can check out. I'll see you there. Peace.